John Kennedy. On November 22, 1963, the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, was assassinated by a gunshot as he passed his motorcade in Dallas, Texas, where he was riding in a convertible, accompanied by his wife, Jacqueline, and Texas Governor John Connally. Former Marine Harvey Oswald was accused of being behind the operation, but he was shot dead 2 days later in the basement of the Dallas Police Department. Anwar al-Sadat. Former Egyptian President Anwar Sadat was assassinated among his ministers and army commanders on October 6, 1981, during his participation in a military parade in Cairo to celebrate the 8 years since the October 1973 war against Israel. Besides Sadat, 7 other people were killed in the attack, including an officer with the rank of Major General of War Staff. The assassination was carried out by a group of officers in the Egyptian army led by Lieutenant Khalid Islam Bouli, who was sentenced to death by firing squad later in April 1982. The main motive for the attack was the result of Sadat signing a peace agreement with Israel. Rafik Hariri. Former Lebanese Prime Minister Rafik Hariri was assassinated on February 14, 2005, when a car bomb targeted his convoy in downtown Beirut, leaving a huge crater and destroying the facades of the buildings surrounding the area. 21 people other than Hariri were killed in the explosion outside the St. George's Hotel. Among the victims were Hariri's bodyguards, some bystanders, and former Economy Minister Faisal. In 2011, an international investigation court announced the involvement of 4 members of Hezbollah, supported by Tehran, in the assassination, and a 5th member of the party was charged in 2012. Mohamed Boutdif. On June 29, 1992, former Algerian President Mohamed Boutdif was assassinated, after only 5 months of assuming office. Boutdif, who was one of the symbols of the Algerian Revolution against the French and was also called Sitaib al-Watani, was shot while delivering a speech in the city of Anwar. The assassination was carried out by one of his guards, an officer in the Algerian Special Forces named Mubarak Boumarafi, as the circumstances of his assassination remained vague, and some accused the military establishment of carrying it out. Faisal bin Abdulaziz. On March 25, 1975, the Saudi monarch, King Faisal bin Abdulaziz, was shot dead by his nephew, Prince Faisal bin Musaid, who was later executed. The incident occurred when King Faisal was holding a council in the royal palace in Riyadh in the presence of a Kuwaiti delegation, at which time the killer took out a pistol from his robe and shot the king in the head, then threw the pistol away. Opinions differed about the killer's motives, as it was reported that he was mentally ill or a drug user, while other reports stated that he killed his uncle because he believed that he was responsible for the death of his religious fanatic brother who was killed by security men while trying to storm the Saudi television headquarters with weapons. Yitzhak Rabin. Former Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin was shot dead by a far-right activist on November 5, 1995, during a festival in downtown Tel Aviv in support of the peace process and the Oslo Accords. Rabin was subjected to fierce criticism from opponents of his signing of the Oslo Peace Accords with the Palestinians in 1993, which recognized the Palestine Liberation Organization and gave it limited control over parts of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. The killer boasted of his work and did not express regret or remorse, and was later sentenced to life imprisonment. Indira Gandhi. On October 31, 1984, India was shaken by the assassination of the Iron Lady of India Indira Gandhi, who is considered the first female prime minister in India's history. The assassination was carried out in the aftermath of a military operation launched by the Indian Army on her orders against a Sikh temple during which hundreds of Sikhs who were demanding a self-governing state were killed. 2 bodyguards of Gandhi, who were both Sikhs, fired more than 30 bullets at her at close range, killing her on the spot inside her office in New Delhi. Benazir Bhutto. The assassination of Pakistani opposition leader Benazir Bhutto caused the country to enter the midst of its worst crisis during its history in a period. Her death, which occurred as a result of a suicide attack during an election rally in the city of Rawalpindi on December 27, 2007, sparked a wave of violence, especially in Sindh province, her hometown. Leaders of the Pakistani Taliban were accused of being behind the operation, in addition to holding the military authorities at the time responsible for failing to provide them with protection. Bhutto served as Prime Minister of Pakistan from 1988 to 1990, and then from 1993 to 1996, the first woman to hold this position in the history of Pakistan. Park Chung-hee. South Korean leader Park Chung-hee was assassinated on October 26, 1979, by his friend and intelligence chief Kim Shigyu, after a dinner between them that witnessed a sharp dispute. Until this moment, the true motive behind the assassination is not known, but some reports said that Kim hoped that the death of the president, known for his dictatorship, would strengthen democracy in the country. Jovenel Moise. Haiti's President Jovenel Moise was assassinated by a group of gunmen at his residence on July 7, 2021. Moise is a former contractor who has set up a number of businesses in the north of his country. He entered the political arena in 2017 with the slogan of rebuilding the poor country. Haitian police announced that the armed group responsible for the assassination of the president consisted of 26 Colombians and 2 Americans of Haitian origin. Olof Palm. On February 28, 1986, the night of his murder, Olof Palm was with his wife after they were attending a movie, when someone surprised him with a shot in the back from close range and killed him. The killer was not found, although the assassination took place on Sweden's busiest street. Since then, the Swedes have been following the assassination case eagerly, and many accusations have been leveled against the Swedish security service, as it was accused of failing to respond quickly to the call on the night of the assassination, as well as accusing it of tampering with evidence. Shinzo Abe. Former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, was giving a speech outside the main train station in Nara, on Friday, July 8, 2022, as he was standing in a dark blue suit, before he heard gunfire. Moments later, security guards were able to stop a man with a handmade pistol. In conjunction with the arrest, Abe was transported by helicopter to the hospital, while his heart and lungs were in a state of failure, according to statements by officials. Subsequently, Nara Prefectural Police confirmed the arrest of Tetsuya Yamagami, 41, on suspicion of attempted murder. The detainee told the police that he was feeling resentful towards Abe and intended to kill him. Japan is one of the safest countries in the world and has some of the strictest gun control laws anywhere.